Hello, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is a chapter in my new book. Um, the book is titled 71 Powerful Writing Habits You Can Learn from Self-Publishing 91 Books. And when this comes out, there'll be 91 books. So this chapter is called Tell People Concepts and Teachings You Don't Like or Agree With. So I've got a longer description here for the title that says Tell People Concepts and Teachings You Don't Like or Agree With, but don't mention names. It's important as you go through what you're teaching to share things you don't like, share things that you don't agree with, but don't go on and name and shame people. You don't, contrary to popular opinion, you don't really make progress by pulling other people down, and even your competition. You show a lack of wisdom, talking down your competition. If they're honestly competing to sell their products to your customers, you should win on the good things that you're doing and the exceptional service that you're doing. You shouldn't win the potential customers' favor by sharing secrets or talking your competition down. Like they use slave labor. They don't give their workers their morning and afternoon tea breaks. That's why they're so efficient. And anyone who doesn't agree with that can't be employed by them. So they gain half an hour's work that they don't have to pay for. And we can't compete with their contracts because of that. You don't need to do that. So as you're teaching people things, it's quite okay to share with people that you don't agree with that practice, you don't agree with that concept, you don't agree with how this subject is taught, but don't be citing examples of people doing it by name. It's okay to mention the practice, so it's very clear to people what you don't like and the practice that you don't agree with. It's very, very important for people to know things to steer clear of, but you don't have to name the companies that are doing it. If you do it right and in a respectable way, people should be able to use their own intellect to identify the companies or the authors that are doing that practice. I don't know about you, but I get sick of people who've got a sponsored Facebook ad trying to sell you something on your feed. You start to read something before you see the word sponsored advertisement, and you thought it was one of your friends posting something. You're halfway through reading something, and it's a person trying to sell you something. They make very good arguments, and if you watch their free video, they'll do a really compelling video on how you should do a $500 course with them to make sure you've got everything that you need to do and all your bases covered to write a bestseller. And I want to be really honest with you here. I've by the time this book is published, I'll have 91 books. I've got 6 books in the process at the moment, and I've only ever had one book be the first in its category and be a bestseller on Amazon, and it was only outselling all the other books in the category for about 7 days. It just so happened that I had to pay to upgrade my website, and it was going to cost $300, and you can call it luck or the providence of God, which I tend to call it, but I needed $300, and I released this book, and it became really popular and sold really well for a month, and it brought in $400, where I had a need and I couldn't afford the website cost, but I couldn't afford for the website not to be there, because that's how I earned $2,000 a month. So I'm on a low income, and $300 is a lot of money out of my pension, and I simply couldn't afford it. So it was a drastic situation, and it just so happened, out of all my books that I've published, and I've done my best to write good titles and have good covers and have good descriptions and have good reviews. I've done everything that I can to make a book sell, but I've only ever had one Amazon best-selling book. I've got books that are so good that people get astounded that they're 99 cents, and they start to buy and read and devour all of my books. So I've got quality books, and I've got quite a following by now. But I've got wonderful books, and I do a really good job of explaining what I want to teach. But I've only ever had one book last for about 7 or 8 days as the highest selling book in the category. It was outselling in 2 categories. So when I see these sponsored ads on Facebook, sign up for this $500 or $1,000 course on how to write a bestseller, I hate that. It's such false advertising, and I've never been able to write a bestseller. I consider myself a very good writer. I don't promise something I can't deliver, and I hope by the time you read this sentence in this book, you'll be convinced that I'm a person who's very relatable and very good at saying hard concepts in a simple way. And you would probably want to agree with me that I do a good job. And I just think it's so unfair that a company would post ads like that and courses like that and use the word bestseller, which is something everyone wants. And it's just so dishonest. Now, I haven't named a specific company by name who is really popular at doing that. To be honest, I've never even watched one of those teaser videos because I'm so disgusted at them ripping off authors. Imagine spending $1,000 when I'm producing books now for about $700, $800. Imagine me spending all the money I'd spend on publishing a book, listening to a course that's promising something that I've found impossible to do. And that's my candor for you, and I hope I hope and I use my Christian prayers that you do find a title of a book and a back cover blurb in a book and reviews in a book, and you're really excellent at describing what you're teaching. And I pray that the gods of books would shine his light on you, and you would get a bestseller that's in the top of its category in Amazon for a month and outdo me. And this is why I'm putting my time and effort into each chapter here and producing a book which I'm going to give away for free on Amazon, in the hopes that some of you will eclipse my record and write books that regularly appear in the top selling books of a category. So I've used an illustration in my own life that I've peeved about to explain the concept I want to teach in this chapter. We're over.